Good morning, everybody. How are you guys doing today? We are here at the Wilderness Lodge for a absolutely stunning sunrise here over Bay Lake. It's going to be beautiful when we get over there. Horizon's 18, hello. Riley, hello. Eric, good morning. And it is just a gorgeous, gorgeous sunrise morning here at the Wilderness Lodge. It is going to be beautiful. So I'm really excited about this. Starting just a few minutes early to get those notifications out so everybody has a chance to get started, to get in. Good morning, Cynthia. And Gary and Tim. Yeah, this should be a really nice, relaxing 45-minute stroll. Before we get started, we're going to start at exactly 1 minute here at 7:15. If you are watching this live or on the replay, don't forget, I'm going to chat through the whole walk experience around here through the Wilderness Lodge. And you can go ahead, if you are watching from a treadmill or from your kitchen table, maybe even a spin bike, I know some people have used. You can listen to the chats, or you can always pop in some earbuds, put on your own music, just enjoy the scenery. Adam and I absolutely love doing that ourselves. So before we get started, those are your options for you this morning. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you're loving it, and a subscribe if you're new. So we are going to do 45-minute walk through the Wilderness Lodge here. I'm going to say a quick good morning on the camera, and then we're going to get started. And it's going to be prompt. We'll be a 45 minutes, and then wrap up here to get our day started. So let me say hello, good morning. It is just, the sunrise is beautiful. Here you go. So a quick hello to you guys. Hi, Lindsay. Hi, Kelly. And I think I heard before I get started that yeah, audio is definitely looking good. I can put my sunglasses back on too. Good morning, Shelby. Good morning, Ashley. Okay, I'm going to start my watch for our outdoor walk here at the Wilderness Lodge. We'll talk about halfway about the resort itself. I'm still going to try to walk pretty fast. Still trying to keep it close enough to RunDisney pacing requirements as far as walking goes. Good morning, Heather. Good morning, Stephanie. So I'm going to try to keep, like I said, that 16-minute pace that RunDisney has. We're going to go right around the water right here. So we'll talk about the resort itself for a bit. And then some of my motivational thoughts as far as running, RunDisney. Oh my goodness. This is beautiful this morning. This is absolutely beautiful. I could not have asked for a better morning. I don't know, would it be weird if I just circled this building? This is Geyser Point. And the kids club is over here too. And just stared out at the sunset and Bay Lake. And we'll just walk in circles right here. Out on the water. Here, I'll kind of angle the camera a little bit. We'll come back this little path along the water at least once or twice so that you guys can see it. It's just beautiful. Off in the distance over here, that is where the Reflections Resort was planned, anticipated. It never happened. It started to happen, but just never made it. The pandemic obviously didn't help the cause, for sure. So we were just in the Wilderness Lodge main building, and as quickly as we walked away, we are heading into the Boulder Ridge area of the resort. And as you can see, the Cascade Cabins. Julio, hello from Anaheim, California. Good morning. Oh, I love Disneyland. I hope you guys didn't have so much flooding from the storm that came in there. I was thinking about you guys a lot out in California and Disneyland with the hurricane and the storm that came through earlier this week. It was, good morning. That was a rough one out there for sure. So we are right by the Cascade Cabins here on the left, and these are situated along the water. That is by far a bucket list location for me to stay. I can pretty much guarantee I will never in my life probably stay there. Those are really expensive. I mean, for good reason. They're beautiful and they're on the water. So I guess you could say never, maybe. And this path right here, we'll even go down there for funsies. This path used to connect all the way down to the Fort Wilderness campground. And there were plenty of times I've taken, when the older kids were little, I've taken them on little staycations here a couple of times. I know it sounds so silly, but I took them on staycations here because they really enjoyed the bunk beds. Because I would not buy them bunk beds at home. Call me a bad mom. But I didn't buy them bunk beds at home. So when they were younger, they thought it was just the most fun thing to come to the Wilderness Lodge and stay in the rooms with the bunk beds in the main building there. So back then, this was some time ago, of course, they did have a path, the one that we're walking on right now, that would go all the way from here to the Fort Wilderness Cabins, and it would end up right near Pioneer Hall, which you may know as the Hoop-de-Doo Review, and their boat dock launch area. So it followed this area here along the water. I mean, not necessarily up against the water, but through the wooded, peaceful area here. So normally we're going to turn off here, but we'll come back. I'll kind of show you the dead end. This is the last of the last cabins right here on the left. And you'll see we can walk down there, and then it's just like, nope, stop. This is it. It kind of ends very abruptly. So Adam and I are staying here. And so here, this is it. The end of the road, guys. This is how they ended it. We'll make a quick little turnaround here. But that's the end of that. So that's the end of the road here at these cabins. Harrington loves Disney. Hello, good morning. So that was the result of the pathway that used to lead over to the Fort Wilderness Cabins. And the Reflections Resort, they had wonderful, wonderful intentions for another grand property here at Walt Disney World. And to be quite frank, I love the property that's empty and the location there. I'm sure that at some point Disney will develop it and put something there as they had planned, but not in the near days and months for sure. But it's just beautiful the way that the trees and the scenery. And now the Wilderness Lodge does have this Pacific Northwest theming to it. Even if you had something considered, reflections, maybe they want to keep it more of a Pacific Northwest or maybe more of a modern theme, tied in, squished in between Wilderness Lodge and the campground. I think that they have a lot of great opportunity to build upon that. And that's my kind of vacation. I love the Wilderness Lodge here because I feel, compared to some resorts, it's very calm, very serene. I feel like I'm kind of on vacation without being in the thick of things. So its neighbor, the Contemporary, is just bustling with people all the time. Bustling with people who have been over to the Grand Floridian, who want to check out the Contemporary, or people at the Magic Kingdom who are coming to check out the Contemporary. Always bustling. So here you can see it's very quiet, very peaceful. It is early. It's 7:25. But still, I'll tell you, some of the other resorts, depending on which one, are pretty with it this time of the morning. Lots of people around. And this one here, this is the building here, Boulder Ridge. This is all DVC right here. And if I'm not mistaken, good morning, Kara. Good to see you. Good morning, Andrew. Boulder Ridge is a DVC property, a DVC building. And there are many ways that you can stay here. You don't have, obviously, a DVC member. But there's a lot of ways that you can stay here as well. And I'm excited. So tomorrow, Adam and I are kind of going to enjoy our time together. This is our first weekend, having a weekend away. I know, I'll bet it is only, a few miles from the house. It is still really, really exciting. We're going to spend our first weekend together without any of the kids. So Harper and the kids are going to Grandma's house, and they're spending the weekend with Grandma. And Adam and I are here at the Wilderness Lodge, enjoying the property. So today, the remainder of the day, we're going to enjoy the resort. We're going to just relax and spend time together, which is not on a camera, I'm sure we'll be at the pool a lot. So if you are here, you more than likely can find us over, and we're going to walk past it again because I'm so in love with this view of Bay Lake. Yes, a salute to travel in the USA, but mostly Disney says they will be staying here for wine and dine. That is a wonderful choice. That is an extremely wonderful choice, because to me, this resort, everybody's got their own pick, right? So this is to me the epitome of relaxing, but you can still have the really busy, exciting, thrill-seeking vacation of Disney, but having this large, expansive Wilderness Lodge makes me feel more relaxed when I come back. Even in the evening, it tends to be nice to walk around. See here, we're going to take another little loop. So we'll come back this way so you can see this. I'm sorry, I just love it so much. I may end up waking up early the next couple mornings just to walk this small little path here in front of the lake and see the sunrise over Bay Lake. But so Reunion Station, I might actually have to put my sunglasses on now. But yes, over this weekend, it is, you probably will find us mostly here. I'm right here. Any of these little couches. So if we're not in the pool, relaxing there, more than likely, that we've had many, many date nights where we just sit out here and just relax. So after a nice run or walk, like we're doing now, to me, lots of people are eating breakfast inside. I would get my breakfast and sit out here. That's just me. Oh, Stephanie's got a lot of rain and gloom. Yeah, I'm really hoping that the weather stays good. It's supposed to. Chris, good morning. Yeah, so right now, we're about 13 minutes into our 45-minute walk around the Wilderness Lodge property here. I usually talk about the resort for about the first half, and then the second half talk about some running, fitness, motivation, some differences than the normal streams that we give. There is a geyser as well that everybody is known for. Good morning, Caleb Joshua Hill. There is a geyser that goes off right here. I think it's once an hour. Somebody's gonna have to correct me on that, I'm sure. I always forget. So you can come see that. A lot of people love to hang out, and it's kind of an icon of the property. The Mont, when will Adam be streaming again, and I? So we are going to do tomorrow for our staycation. We're going to do about an hour and a half walk around of the Wilderness Lodge property here. We'll come out by the boat dock a little bit. So we are going to go out here on the boat dock. We'll make a little turn. I was hoping to go all the way to the front of the boat dock, but there's a couple families there. Okay, we'll turn very gently. The Magic Kingdom is open early. So we're planning to do about an hour and a half live stream hour here from the Wilderness Lodge tomorrow to talk about what it's like staying here, show some of the property, and to just have fun with you guys. And then tomorrow we are going to enjoy the rest of the day. So I would imagine that we will have a live stream somewhere in the early afternoon. I would say maybe like noon or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Just a fun little live stream to take you around, to point things out. We'll go into the lobby, we'll go into the store, we'll go all around, and we are going to share what it's like here at the Wilderness Lodge when you stay here. So we're going to do that tomorrow. And then on Sunday, we'll be out at the Magic Kingdom. So that's the two that we got coming up this weekend. And then you can check out our community tab on YouTube or our Facebook page. We have the whole schedule for the next 2 weeks posted. So the Wilderness Lodge has even more cabins now on the other side. And when we come back, we can see it a little bit better. But this other half of the large main building is the hotel side of things. There's plenty of hotel rooms that you can book where you just rent. And they've got different variations of the rooms that you can rent and enjoy the resort. You don't have to be a DVC member to stay at the property as a whole. There's plenty of things that you can do. And if you aren't a DVC member, there's a lot of websites where you can rent rooms, or they can help you rent DVC rooms. Specifically, we've always had good experiences with dvcshop.com. So there's a couple of those websites that do a really good job in that way. Bubba, good morning. Lots of grills. There's a lot of grills at the deluxe resort, so you can make food, have a nice cookout. But even though, see, we're only walking 45 minutes, it doesn't seem like it's a big resort, but land space, there is quite a bit here. More than you realize tucked in. And it isn't too bad as far as access is concerned to the pool areas. There are 2 pool areas. One, the main pool. Good morning. And the second pool being over by Boulder Ridge that we passed in the beginning. I know one of you guys were mentioning in the pavement here, there's all these tracks, which are fun when you're walking around. Here, we'll turn around. Although the parking area is quite fun, it's probably more fun to go onto the pathway here. Good morning, Karina. And I can't remember if I mentioned it or not, but yeah, they have over 700 units here of various different sizes. So, you know, from standard hotel rooms up to these huge cabins that you can rent for large groups of people that border the water. They have, all the Disney resorts are pretty good about that. No matter what your family has in mind, there are some great room options to fit whatever needs you have for anyone who's coming with you, versus a bunch of kids. Maybe it's a girls' outing. Maybe it's a guy's golf weekend. Any of those things. They have a lot of room and bedding options at the various resorts, which I think makes it helpful, because it's hard when you are looking around and you're trying to find, units that everybody can fit in and enjoy, and make sure everybody's got a place to sleep. Yeah, Denise, I would love to stay in the cabins as well. That is definitely a bucket list, a once in a lifetime for me, for sure. I think I looked it up once. I don't obviously think that I would ever have enough DVC points. I don't have any DVC points. Since we live locally, I don't have a DVC membership for a lot of reasons. But even if I did, to have enough points for the cabins is just a lot. It's just a lot. And I think I looked it up. If you want to rent one, there are the DVC rental sites like I mentioned. And occasionally you see the cabin pop up. And I think it was like, I could be wrong. It was very expensive. So I'll say, I think it was somewhere in the ballpark of around $5,000 a night. Something like that. It could have been more. Easily. Amanda, good morning. Strasburg Rail fan. Hello. So we'll just make a couple loops. Right now, we are about halfway done already with our 45-minute walk, which is nice. I like that I was able to kind of get through the main trail points of the property, you know, halfway, so that we can go through here more than once. Because I absolutely enjoy walking through here, running through here. It's not the most runner-friendly property as far as wanting to go for a morning run, a morning jog. Because these trails right here, although they are beautiful, there's a lot of people coming to and from the parks right here. So if you go a little bit later in the morning, or, you know, even just an hour from now, or if you end up wanting to run in the evening, it can be a bit busy. I hear lots of kids getting ready for the morning. Lots of kids excited back behind me. I'm pretty sure the camera didn't pick that up. That was funny. All the lifeguards are getting ready for the pool. Yvette, good morning. So we are about halfway done. So if you are out and about walking around with us this morning, whether you're on your treadmill or you're walking and listening, or you're just enjoying a cup of coffee for this beautiful morning walk, RunDisney training, by all means, congratulations. Thanks for hanging out with me. You know, I'll give a few motivational thoughts for the last 20 minutes or so here while we walk through. But, so Adam and I just completed the 75 hard challenge. I've been talking about it quite a bit, and we finished it on Friday. And it left me with a lot of thoughts that I've been eager to get back into doing some of these. Real quick, there's a fishing charter out there. If you're interested in fishing, they have some really great fishing charters, and I've heard that if you're into fishing, that there's pretty decent fishing here in Bay Lake. Anyway, I digress. So we finished the 75 hard challenge, 75 days of drinking a gallon of water, reading a motivational book each day, 2 workouts each day. Let me think here now. Oh, and being on a diet, no alcohol. And we finished that last Friday. We were both successful in completing the challenge. And, you know, I've spoken a lot on the morning walks about the motivation that it gave me to get going and just to get started. And hanging out with you guys has been really great to keep myself going. But the last week, I thought this was a great topic to talk about on the live stream, our next motivational walk together in our RunDisney or just general training that you might have. But while that accomplishment was really exciting to say, hey, I finished this really great feat that I didn't know if I could. I didn't know if I would have it in me to do this. As I got into the final weeks, I should say the last week is probably when I had these thoughts. But I thought, well, this is great. One, I was getting a little bored. And I was and bored as in, this is getting really tiring. And then additionally, I thought to myself, okay, I've put in all this hard work and I'm really happy with what I've done. So what do I do now? Like, what do I do now? And I know it can be very simple to say, well, you know, if you go on Google, you know, he does have the person who created the challenge has different phases, and you can go into different phases and do more. Well, I'm not into the extra craziness that they put together for that. But nonetheless, it had me thinking, now that I've done this, now that I've gotten going, what do I do? Like, where do I go from here? And I've gotten myself up. I've gotten myself moving along. But now that I've accomplished what I want to accomplish, where do I go from here? And I want to talk about that a little bit today, because we've had a lot of conversations about just getting out there and putting one foot in front of the other, taking one more step and going a little faster, going a little quicker, and just motivating yourself that way to get going. Because that was really my struggle. And my son, who's also learning and starting on a path to run and participate in races, said to me the same thing. Well, okay, I'm out and I'm jogging and I'm trying to go quicker and faster, and you know, but where do I go from here? Now I'm out here. And it was really something that really caught my attention, and I thought, you know, I don't know that I've really talked about that, and it's not so easy. I think maintaining. It's really exciting when you're doing something new and you're doing something different and you're saying, okay, I've been out here, I get my butt out of bed, I get my butt off the couch, and I did my walk, and I'm feeling amazing right now. I feel so proud of myself. And, you know, if nobody has told you today, just like I've said before, I am proud of you. The people in this chat are proud of you. That's why we're all here, you know, to motivate and be encouraging to one another. And I think that's what a lot of Run Disney is about in general. So we'll talk about Run Disney another day. But you've gotten yourself up, you're going, and it's easy to say, yeah, okay, I've done this. But how do you keep it going? How do you say, I'm going to keep going more and more and more and make it interesting? Because it can become monotonous, and, you know, boring is a tough word, but, you know, you end up being concerned, like, well, maybe I don't want to do this anymore. You know, it was great. But finding something that can keep you going, keep you motivated, is really the key. And that was tough for me last week. And I'm really struggling with that right now. Is I am still pretty much doing the 75 hard tasks. I didn't make sure I have a book to read every day. I'm still drinking pretty close to a gallon of water every day, because now it's a habit. And if I don't, I feel weird about it. And we're still doing around 2 workouts a day in some form or fashion. So I want to take this time to have that discussion and say, you know, now that we've been walking together, sitting on spin bikes together, enjoying these Disney resorts together, what do you do? Because that will get you. There will be a point for everybody, no matter if you are the best runner or not. But to know that there is you know, you have to have a goal, like something to achieve. So that's kind of my thought right now, is making sure that you take time to think about, okay, now I've gotten here, you know, maybe it's moving a little quicker. Maybe it's going a farther distance, or picking things that are interesting to you. Maybe you have some goal. Maybe to go run a race and you've never been to an in-person race before. And maybe that is your motivation. But that will be the key to longevity. Ultimately, you can keep going because you don't want to get back into the rut of where you were. And over time, so now I've been running RunDisney races. I think I looked at it, it's like 11 years now. You know, Adam and I have had this conversation because he has started his fitness journey about 4 years ago or more. And that's the key to it, is having some kind of goal where you can be focused and motivated to keep going. Because it's easy enough to say, well, I'm just going to have this, I'm going to cheat on my diet a little bit today, but and then I'm going to cheat tomorrow. And this is okay, because this is, you know, this is the day after that. But it'll be fine. And you start letting yourself slip away. There's a lot of squirrels here. Yes, you're definitely seeing lots of squirrels across the camera. But that is something that you need to know is going to come up. Things that are going to come across your mind, and know that those things will happen, and you can plan for them, and you can say that you can do this. You know, it's okay to have a cheat day or rest days for sure, but motivating yourself and keeping yourself to saying, you know, not every day is going to be fun. Let's face it. There are some days where I go out for a run and I'm not enjoying it. Not every day can be wonderful and the most fantastic race or run day or workout day that you have. But you can find joy and happiness when you're done and saying, you know what? It was not my favorite thing. I was not excited to go out today, but I'm so proud of myself that I did it anyway. And those are the moments that really keep you pushing to do better and to get better, because they're going to happen. They absolutely will. Where you are having the thoughts of, it's not a big deal, I don't want to, and then one day leads to another, and it's easy, it's a slippery slope. Dell Whip Dave, I have to train up for going to Disney, 20K a day in the parks. There's a lot of steps that go into a Disney park, that is for sure. So we'll make one loop down this way. You have less than 10 minutes left in this 45-minute walk here at the Wilderness Lodge, which has been a beautiful morning for sure. Yeah, Luz, sometimes, you know, you just get an injury. You're not sure what happened or why. And you're right. Your knee or your leg, and those things can happen. And some days you need to rest on those injuries, or there's opportunities and there's things that you can do to get a little bit of motion in that doesn't have to do with your legs or walking. And there's opportunities for you to research. Maybe there's things that you can do that aren't necessarily going to impact your leg. And taking care of yourself is important. Let's face it, when somebody has an injury, you really don't want to exaggerate that at all. Yeah, I know there's so much that goes into walking at Disney. Sometimes I feel like you do need to train. Otherwise, walking these parks, there can be a lot of steps. I always chuckle to myself because I really don't know how on a Run Disney weekend you have to get up, usually about 2 in the morning, and after you get up so early, you end up running whatever distance that you signed up for, 5K, 10K, the 13-mile half marathon, you know, you name it. And so many people go into the parks. I'll tell you, I usually need a nap. Aside from just this sheer amount of walking that are at the parks, just getting up and doing that in the middle of the night and being done with your race by 7, 8 in the morning, I really am impressed with those runners who go ahead and run their Run Disney race and then spend the whole day in the parks. That is true dedication. That is true dedication for sure. Good morning, Jordan. Good to see you. So we are, about 5, 6, 7 minutes away from the end of our 45-minute stream. Oh, yes. In the parks, I bet you can average about 9 miles a day. And in the heat, and this is great in regards to, since we're already talking about training and being prepared to walk around the parks, and even if you are training for any kind of races or Run Disney, this is another point I was chatting with my son about in helping him learn and grow and be better, and just tips that help him in his running journey and learning there. And this is probably good for just general fitness as well. The heat is serious. It's something you have to take very seriously. He is a little disappointed. He feels like he could run further or faster, but he's telling me, Mom, I can't, like, I'm trying. And I reminded him, so many of you live across the country, not just here in Florida, and there is a heat dome, a massive, massive sweltering heat happening through a good majority of the United States right now as we speak. We're talking 100-degree temperatures. Florida had this same occurrence. Quick turn here. About 2 weeks ago. It was about 2 weeks straight, and it was, yes, about 100-degree temperatures. It's like 98, 99, and the feels like temperature was 111, 118 on some days. That included evening. So the sun would go down and it was unbearable, just so hot. So it didn't matter. You could go out, like right now, it is very nice. It's 76 degrees. I feel like it might have been a little bit cooler when we first started, but the sun is up now. And that, every degree and temperature that it goes up can affect how you run, your dehydration levels. It is such a big factor because right now we're in the thick of summer, and that is something to consider. So if you are going out there and you're making the effort and you're saying, I'm going to get out there, I'm going to run today, sure, you can run on a treadmill, but this is setting treadmills aside. You know, we've been having to do one workout outside a day for the last 75 days. And there's a lot of people like me who actually prefer, sorry, the sun's probably in the camera, who enjoy being outside. You know, maybe you work inside all day and you enjoy that opportunity to go walk or run. So if you are right now, you've been following along with me all summer, and you get outside and you feel that disappointment because there's going to be situations in your training, even just walking, right? You know, you're 9 miles a day at Disney. You might feel disappointment and say, I know it's hot, but I'm just so disappointed. I wanted to do more. I expected to do more. And those are the things that you need to not let your mind get you down. You need to be proud of what you've done and happy, and make sure you take care of yourself. Obviously, have plenty of water, electrolytes when you're done, or carry it along with you. But you have to be proud for pushing through those extremes, because I feel like extreme temperatures, even at races, that's why they have warning flags. And they tell, there's your squirrel. He's just hanging out, saying hello to us. Where the races will tell you this is the conditions and you need to be careful. And so if you are in one of those places where maybe you've gotten going throughout the summer and you've been really committed and you've gotten yourself outside, you've gotten to do some extra things, but now this huge heat, it's as equal to me as a thunderstorm that rains on your parade. And you can feel those times where maybe you want to do more, but there are going to be things that are out of your control. It could be rain. It could be this extreme heat. Any of those moments where it just has to do with the weather and not so much anything that you've done, but you have to take care of yourself. So you keep going. The big important thing is that you did it. And those are the things you should focus on, because you have a lot to be proud of, to train and take time, even if it's just 15 or 20 minutes, because that's how it all starts. And on those days where you can't, and you push yourself, those days where I was talking about where you're kind of lost because you've been doing the same thing, because you've been up here. We're about our 45 minutes, so we'll stop right here and talk for the last part of this beautiful looking out of the creek here. Maybe we'll go over by the Bay Lake there to wrap up for now, because we're just hitting 45 minutes right now. But you are doing amazing things, no matter the heat, no matter the weather. Even if you said, I meant to go out for 45 minutes, and today is just one of those days where it was difficult for me, and I had an injury, and I did something else instead, or I had to make it a little bit shorter. You did a great job, and you pushed yourself, and you have something to be proud of and happy to accomplish. So there is a lot of opportunity to get past all of those days where you think that you can't, where you need to find that motivation to keep going, because maybe you've been at this for a while. And you will. Hopefully you'll think of this moment and say, remember we talked about this. Good morning, Peggy. Good morning, Ernie. So we are at 45 minutes exactly. This was our morning walk, sunrise walk around the Wilderness Lodge. It was beautiful this morning. If you loved what we did, please hit the thumbs up button. We're looking right here out on Bay Lake to end the day. I hope you found a little bit of encouragement, a few helpful tips. I'll try to find more days where I can get out, probably on Friday mornings, where I have a little bit of flexibility in my schedule. But you guys have been wonderful. Just remember, you are all doing amazing jobs. You have a lot to be proud of. You're going to have a great day, because today is a great day. The sun is shining. Maybe, I know some of you guys said it's raining where you are, but but have a wonderful weekend. Have a wonderful Friday. And I'm so proud of you and everybody else in this chat. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you all very, very soon. Bye-bye.